Hello everyone and Namaskaram. എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ ഓണാശംസകൾ. And also I wish Positive Talks, Harrietla and the team, very good luck for your future endeavors. Okay, so let's begin with New Education Policy 2020. The New Education Policy 2020 will certainly be a landmark in the history of education in India. It has been approved by the government after a wide-ranging consultation. The policy is comprehensive, holistic, far-sighted, and certainly play a great role in the nation's future and the growth of the nation. New Education Policy in simple NEP. The first NEP was in the year 1968 by Indira Gandhi government. The second NEP was in 1986 by Rajiv Gandhi government. In 1992, education policy was modified by P.V. Narasimha Rao. Modi government replaced a 34-year-old education policy with a new draft which was formulated by a panel led by a former ISRO chief K. Kasturi Rangan, providing reforms at all levels of education. Education on based concept building and a practical knowledge. The new policy covers education for each and every child belonging to the age group of 3 to 18 years, which comprises of 15 years of education. Earlier it was a 6 to 18 years, that is for 12 years. Our current system 10 plus 2 is replaced by a new system called 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So there are different stages. The first stage is foundation stage, the second is preparatory stage, third is middle stage, and the fourth is secondary stage. Let's check each stages in elaborated. Our first stage is a foundation stage. The children of age group 3 and 8 will be in this stage. Preschool or Anganwadi and the classes 1 and 2 will be included in this stage. The teaching mode will be a play-based and activity-based curriculum like a formal, flexible, including a healthy habits for life and positive socialization for the young pairs. Next is our preparatory stage. For children between 8 to 11 years of age in the grades of between 3 and 5, there will be a greater emphasis on experimental learning and numeracy skills. The focus would shift to a play, discovery, and activity board and interaction classroom learning. The NEP 2020 has emphasized the use of a mother tongue or a local language as the medium of instruction till class 5, recommending its continuance till class 8 and beyond. It recommends that all students will learn a 3-language in their school. At least 2 of 3 languages should be a native of India. The NEP has a provision for Sanskrit to be offered at all the levels. Learning Hindi is not a mandatory for the Indian children. Indeed, Hindi is hardly mentioned in this policy, neither is English. The policy leaves it to the states to decide. So English medium schools will not be affected by the policy anyway. The NEP says whenever possible, a local or mother tongue should be used. Therefore, the school is likely to continue teaching in their medium of instruction and the use of local languages when it is feasible. A structural, subject-wise curriculum will lay down a strong academic foundation at this level through teaching of languages, science, maths, and holistic development. They are including arts and physical education. Therefore, it is based on learning by doing. Next, moving on to our middle stage. This stage will cover the school education for class 6 to 8, that is the age group between 11 to 14 years. The structure aims to transform from existing system to a more experimental learning. The focus would be a critical learning objectives and not by learning it by rote, that is not by memorizing. The vocational education starts from grade 6 with internships. The students of class 6 onwards will be taught coding in school as a part of 21st century skill, which is very essential actually. It is learned by coding. The students learn to create games and applications for multiple platforms such as Android, Windows, etc. Vocational education is to equip the students with the new skills like carpentry, electric work, gardening, or it can be music, dance, instruments, etc. It can be anything. This is to ensure that at least 50% of students have a comprehensive exposure to vocational education. And the most interesting part, there will be a 10 days of a bagless period, which is very, very good for children, right? This will introduce children to interact with a local vocational experts. This approach of learning will ensure more meaningful, holistic, and cohesive learning experience for the students. Holistic education will lead to a well-grounded personality and create a great entrepreneurs. Next, this will cover the school education from classes 9 to 12 in two phases. The first phase will be 9 and 10. The second phase will be 11 and 12. The syllabus will be reduced to a core knowledge to any subject. The more focus will be on a student's practical and application knowledge. The NEP 2020 hopes to mitigate by providing a wider range of subjects at a secondary level with a flexible permutation combination for students to choose as per their interest, choice, and career aspirations. The changes include a multidisciplinary study where the students would be able to pick and choose any set of subjects from the available structure. This stage will promote a critical thinking, attentions to life aspirations. It gives equal importance to all stages of schooling by customizing each with age-appropriate curriculum and learning goals. Next, moving on to exams. There will be a key assessment at the classes 3, 5, 8. It will be there. The board exams for 10th and plus 2 will now be easier and allow twice a year as per as NEP. That is to reduce the stress and anxiety in children. And the semester-wise board exams are conducted. This is done by to test the core knowledge instead of the memorized facts. The board exam pattern are set to change. The report cards will look different and a more detailed one. With the new NEP 2020, a National Assessment Center called a PARAC will set up. The PARAC means Performance, Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. The body will be responsible for suggesting guidelines for student assessment and evaluation for all the recognized school boards, including the state boards. To prepare the students for university exams, the National Testing Agency or NTA will offer a high quality aptitude test twice a year. The test will be offered in science, humanities and vocational subject. Let's see how the teachers are trained, which is more important because for the new education policy, the teachers has to be trained in that level. So there will be an emphasis on teachers' role in facilitating active study engagement. The use of technology platforms such as Swayam or Diksha for the online training for teachers has been encouraged under a new education policy 2020. The new teachers training board will set up for all kinds of teachers in the country, so no state can change it. The new standards will guide the role of a teacher at different stage and the competencies required for the stage. Next, about this higher education. The bachelor's program will be multidisciplinary in nature, and there will be no rigid separations between arts and science. There will be a greater inclusion of arts and humanities subjects for science students and vice versa. There will be a multiple entry and exist from any course. There will be a credit system. Students will be academic bank of credit. The students will get some credit which he can utilize if he or she takes a break in the course and comes back. He can come back again and complete the course. For any graduation course, if student completes only 1 year, he will get the basic certificate. If he completes for 2 years, he will get a diploma certificate. If he complete 3 years, he or she will get degree certificate. If it is for 4th year, he or she will get a research degree certificate. So in total, it is a 4-year course. So no year of any student will be wasted if he breaks the course in between. Indian arts, language and culture will be promoted at all levels. MPhil degree will be discontinued. By 2040, all higher education institutions like IITs will become a multidisciplinary except for medical and legal colleges. All university, government, private, open, deemed and vocational, etc. will have the same grading and other rules. Higher education equips individuals to make the best use of their talents and the opportunities offered by society for the self-fulfillment. Next, we'll see what is this internationalization of higher education. NEP 2020 to set up campus in the country is one of the major announcements made in the policy. The expectations is that allowing a foreign university will enable the world-class education available locally at a significantly lower cost without traveling and human capital migrating to other countries for job prospects. This is added the first time in the education policy of India. So it targets on creating India as a knowledge hub, attracting foreign nationals and to promote research collaboration. Exchange of credits between foreign universities and home institutes will be permitted and will be counted for the education of as a higher education institution. It will also boost international business relations in not only education but in the support services and other sectors, and also the passed out students will be aware with the Indian culture, trade, regulations, industry strength and many more. Okay, my take on this new education policy. NEP 2020 will build India as a knowledge hub. It will make education more relevant and focused. NEP is definitely a praiseworthy decision and a big leap for all the Indian students. Now, one can study without worrying about the subjects one will choose for graduation. It's a dream come true in case if it is implemented properly. It has been taught over very well. It helps to bring out the best use in each child in every aspect. Especially the exam stress for 10th and plus 2 students, it is reduced to much, which is very important for parents, teachers, and especially for the child. Okay. NEP aims to connect our children with their roots while making them a global citizens. The policy and the suggested changes look great on paper, and that could change the face of Indian education system in the years to come, but that would depend on how they are approached and implemented. To add on, Karnataka, to become the first state to implement the new education policy. The state government is making all preparations to bring in the administrative reforms and the laws which are essential to implement the new education policy. Before I wrap, I just want to tell what Bhagavad Gita tells about a knowledge. There is nothing in the world more sacred than a divine knowledge. Whoever personally in his divine knowledge realizes his truth in himself in the due course of time. The knowledge is the key to open the door to the wisdom's prosperity and happiness. Thank you.